Hello and happy Friday. My name is Steffi and welcome to My Day with a Ghost. This is a series on my channel that combines two of my favorite things, food and all things spooky. I tell you a spooky story while you join me for lunch, like a mukbang podcast. So take a seat, grab a snack, and follow me into the world of the supernatural. Today, I am eating SoHo sushi burritos. I've had sushi burritos, but I've never had SoHo. They are a popular local place. They have a couple locations around the valley. So today I am drinking a lemon LaCroix in my freaking brand new Starbucks Houston mug. I'm so friggin' excited. I recently went to Texas and got a couple of these. So very excited. So I'm gonna go ahead and crack this open. So today I have a 3 Amigos burrito, which is ahi tuna, yellowtail, salmon, cucumber, red onion, cilantro, masago, crispy wonton strips, and a wasabi aioli. Then I have a firecracker, which is spicy tuna, cucumber, lettuce, cabbage, crispy wonton strips, sweet chipotle mayo, and a honey habanero sauce. And then I have a California burrito, which is the surimi crab, avocado, and cucumber. And then she asked me if I wanted sauce, and I asked for their poke sauce. I'm very stoked. I can't wait to eat. This smells so good. Okay, I don't know which one to start with. Bro. Oh my goodness, alright. That is so good. I love spicy tuna, so I was like slightly concerned about the wonton strips. I wasn't sure how I was gonna like it, but like without it, the burrito would be very mushy. And so the wonton strips bring a really nice texture to it. That's very good. I'm gonna try this one here in the middle, which is the 3 Amigos. Yeah, fingers crossed that the red onion does not overpower this. I love red onion a lot, but it can be very strong. The red onion does not overpower. Because there's cilantro in there, it does bring like a nice pico-y feel to it. That is very good. The wonton strip. So, same thing. I wasn't sure if the wonton strip or the crunch was the wonton strips or the onion, but it's good. This one's rather basic. It's like a California roll. Let's see. You can't go wrong with like the basic. Oh my goodness. It's really good. Freaking A+. Now let's freaking talk about haunted libraries. This week I chose the Peoria Public Library in Illinois. It was honestly a big debate between this one and I think the Willard Library, but this one really caught my attention due to like the deaths, I guess. Let's start at the beginning. According to legend, the library is built on cursed ground and houses around as many as a dozen ghosts. So back in 1830, Mrs. Gray lived in a house on Monroe Avenue. When her brother passed away, she gained custody of her nephew, who turned out to be a freaking hooligan who got in trouble with the law. This led to a lot of issues. So he got into so much trouble that he ended up needing help from a lawyer by the name of David Davis, who took out a mortgage on Mrs. Gray's home as security. Fast forward, when this kid didn't pay, Mr. Davis sued to foreclose the home and collect his money. Mrs. Gray was freaking pissed. So she threw out her nephew, but not too long after that, his body was found floating lifelessly in the Illinois River. I know that seemed weird that I ate out of the bottom, but it started fall out. So then Mrs. Gray cursed the property and any future owners. This home actually had a really lovely garden, and it said that after the curse, nothing would grow on the property. And in 1894, Peoria purchased the land and built the library next to her house. A lot of stories say that it was built where her house was, but it was actually built next to her house. The spicy tuna is so good. It's not like too spicy. And the wonton strips are so nice. Oh my goodness, that one is so good. It's falling apart. Oh no. Would these just be considered like really large hand rolls? Sorry, I just got really distracted. I was really hungry. That was really good. Oh my god, where was I? In 1966, the library was demolished and then rebuilt. I don't know why. I feel like it was a waste. It seems that this did stop the curse. However, it didn't stop the ghosts. You know what doesn't help spice? Carbonated water. So by definition, a curse is any express wish that some form of adversity or misfortune will befall or attach to one or more persons, a place, or an object. In particular, in many belief systems, the curse itself or accompanying ritual is considered to have causative force in the result. That's a curse. Now let's talk about the directors. Oh no, I'm a mess today. Oh my goodness. The first director was E.S. Wilcox, and he was connected with the Peoria, you would think I would know how to say it by now, Peoria Public Library for more than 50 years. Doing the research on the 3 directors, he's the one that I found the most information on. The other 2, nobody cares about. Apparently, the Peoria Library posted like a history and like he has a section. The other 2 don't, so like this guy's important. So him being so connected to the library, I feel like his death is like the saddest. On April 6, 1915, Mr. Wilcox left his home to walk to work at the library. When he attempted to cross the street, he did not notice an approaching car. So the fender hit Mr. Wilcox and threw him across the rails to the parallel track. Mr. Wilcox was pronounced dead a little more than 2 hours after the accident. Something that this one has that this one does not have is the Masago. That, I think, would make this, like, the best. Oh my goodness. 6 years later, in 1921, Samuel Patterson Prowse died from a heart attack that he had during a board meeting. And that's the only information that there is about him that I could find. In 1924, so 3 years after the second director's death, Dr. Edwin Wiley committed suicide by swallowing arsenic. One might think that these are all coincidences, and Dr. Wiley had previous depressive episodes. However, the curse was definitely on everyone's mind when, you know, all these deaths were happening. The library was then torn down in 1966, but the ghost remained. It's actually said that the ghost appearances started back before the libraries were even built. The nephew was seen banging on the door, begging to be let in after the boy had passed away. Oh, why is imitation crab so good? The poke sauce that I got. It's freaking peacock. The poke sauce that I got is rather sweet. It's really good. As for ghost sightings within the library, I only saw a couple reported. Even though I kept seeing like dozens of ghosts reside in the library, I really only saw like 2 things being repeated over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Not being, they'll hear ghostly voices calling out their names, and then they feel temperature dropping to chilling degrees. And then some even claim to see one of the director's faces in the basement doorway. And that's really all I saw, but a ghost is a ghost is a ghost. So it's haunted. I'm always so impressed with like sushi places who have like perfect avocados. I never understand. How do you do that? What's the science behind that? More information I found in that little PDF from the library. Okay. On October 5th, 1905, N.C. Doherty, the superintendent of schools since 1879, was charged with embezzlement and forgery by a grand jury in 13 indictments, pled guilty, and was sentenced from 1 to 14 years at the state prison in Joliet. Of the previous 7 years, the total amount embezzled totaled $500,000. $41,000, and was believed to have started 6 months after he started working in 1879. Can you imagine? You've only been working there 6 months? Like, bro, chill. I mean, it's wrong that he did it at all, but I'm just saying, I just can't wrap my head around that. And then, check it out. In January of 1907, while Doherty was in prison, somebody went into the library and blew up a safe that contained Doherty's records. Someone stole those records and then threw them into the library furnace. However, after investigation, it is believed that the safe was left unlocked, that the records were marked to be easily identified, the safe was blown up after the fact, and the papers that were thrown into the furnace were like decoy records as a cover-up. Like, what? What? It was never, like, discovered if this was, like, set up by Doherty himself, a family member, or somebody completely unrelated. Freaking wild. Freaking wild. The freaking lengths that some people go. It's just, was it worth it? You stole a little over $500,000. And at the time, please hold. Oh. Ha 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 ha. Oh, that's a lot of money. Whoop. Converted amount is about $15 million. So, never mind. That was a lot of money. Maybe it's worth it, because, oh my god. That stresses me out so much more. That makes this situation so much worse. Okay. Anyway, this poor guy's falling apart. And I don't know if it's because I chose seaweed. I don't know if it's because I manhandled it. I don't know what happened. But this poor guy is just falling apart. And lastly, this library was also involved in blackmail. The library wasn't doing anything. People just like to use this poor library for their dirty deeds. So, I don't have an exact year, so my calculation of money might be off of how much it would be worth today. But George P. McNear died. Okay. His widow received 2 different letters stating that the information of who his murderer was would be provided to her if she put $1,000 in a drawer in a desk in the library. It's a special drawer in the 3rd floor education room at the Peoria Public Library. The year of 1905, $1,000 was 30 grand. 30 grand. This one makes me so mad. To play off of like the emotions of someone who just lost someone, to then like falsely say, I know who killed your husband, give me 30 grand and I'll let you know. Like, that's so sad. Well, anyway, William A. Gibson and Billy Gibson showed up to retrieve the cash and were arrested when they showed up to the library. Like, you play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like, people. Okay, well anyway, thank you for joining me for lunch. I hope you enjoyed my stories. They're kind of stories. They're like spooky history lessons. I enjoyed this a whole lot. I'm actually very shocked that I've never had SoHo sushi burritos before. It was delicious. Highly recommend. This freaking firecracker, delicious. Okay, I will see you same time next week. You recording? Yeah.